Of his 13-year career. The younger brother of Cheryl Miller, a Hall of Fame player and current WNBA coach, Reggie grew up a Lakers fan in nearby Riverside, California. Yesterday, he spoke with Bob Costas.
When you were growing up in Riverside, you and your sister Cheryl used to get into 2-on-2 games in the playground. Now, if they didn't know who you were, here comes a girl and a skinny guy.
Very skinny.
They must have thought, this is easy pickings.
More so when they saw the girl. Because I would be out there, layups and walk up on them, and they, would ask if you have a game. I'm like, sure. Who's your second person? And the whistle, and Cheryl would come running out. They would look at one another like, this is easy money. And we let them get up a little bit, and then Cheryl look at me, and we turn it on, and we end up winning, going to McDonald's, having a Happy Meal. And these guys were like, well, where'd you get her from? I'm like, well, that's my sister. And they're like, what? That's how it happens.
2.9 seconds.
Making up last-second shots. That's probably what I did more so than actual dreaming of being in the NBA.
Gets it in the middle for the win.
The old 10-9-8. I always imagined making the last-second shot.
4/10 of a second.
Usually, I would guess, you were imagining yourself wearing the uniform of the LA Lakers. That was your team as a kid, right?
Yes, it was. I grew up a Laker fan. Everyone wanted to be Magic Johnson. It was magic, magic, magic. Having a chance to go to UCLA and then, work with Magic and Byron and Michael Cooper, those guys were, like gods to me.
If you were rooting for Magic, that means you were rooting against Larry Bird.
Right. No one liked Larry Bird here. Everyone hated the Celtics. But of course I respected Larry Bird because he was a great player.
Did you ever have anything going with him personally on the court?
There's only two things really Larry ever said to me. My rookie year, we were playing in the Garden, and I was, playing hard, and of course we ended up losing, but it was like maybe 15 or 20 seconds left on the clock. And Dennis Johnson was shooting a free throw, and I was back with Larry, and he came up and patted me on the butt and said, and I really didn't know Larry, and he hit me and said, just keep working hard, you're going to be a great player. And this, I'm like, wow, Larry said this. Well, hence me, a year later, we were playing in Market Square Arena, and we had a chance to beat the Celtics at home, which never really happened. And he was at the free throw line trying to ice the game, and I'm on the line, and I said, like, hey, saying something, and he dribbles and stops and looks at me and says, don't you know who I am? And knocked it down, and after that, I really didn't say nothing else to him.
The Pacers have given up.
It's been a long time coming for a lot of the guys on this team. You and Mark Jackson are two of those guys. And I know you've had long conversations about this, late night phone calls.
Being denied so many years, and me calling him after games during the summer, especially last year, losing to New York in the conference finals, saying I shoulda, coulda, woulda, if I. And in Game 6 this year in New York, when New York had made their rally to get back in the game at the start of the fourth quarter, he walked up to me and said, look, don't call me. Don't talk to me on the bus. Don't talk to me and my family. All this talking that you've done, called me and saying if I woulda, coulda, shoulda, do it now.
Miller against Freewell. Steps back and delivers another three. Reggie Miller with another dagger. The Indiana Pacers on their way to the NBA Finals for the first time in their history.
We believe veteran leadership wins ball games. And at this point, so far we've been right.
Well, after missing all 7 of his shots in the first half of Game 1, Miller is 4 for 5 in the first half tonight, scoring 10 points in just 12 minutes of action. When we return, we'll hear from Bill Walton's former coach, the legendary John Wooden. First, a message from NetZero and a word from the NBA.